Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chat from a Hat. I'm your host, Josh Brown, along with my co-host,
Caleb Luther.
Caleb. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
You're pretty good after that butt kicking you got last week?
Oh my god. Jesus. See, here's why I hate doing drafts with you, because you're a sore winner and a sore loser.
That's right.
Just the worst.
I'm just competitive.
The absolute what? The competitive. I'm just competitive in my assholeness.
But that's why you love me, and that's why you continue to do them.
I guess. I only do this because it's such a successful podcast, and we rake in so much dough on a week-to-week basis. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I guess I got to put up with it.
It's our sponsors,
another draft.
Man. Our sponsors that we get.
But yeah.
We never talk about it on the show.
Do you want to actually talk about the draft first before we talk about other things?
I mean,
it doesn't matter. We don't need structure.
We don't necessarily need to.
Rock got no reason. Rock got no rhyme.
So
you better get me to school on time.
Speaking of school, I schooled you last week. Jesus.
But
you waltzed right into it.
You know, I don't love doing the drafts because I know I'm gonna. Usually, I know I'm gonna lose. I think the only one the only one I had a real chance in was the Beatles one, and the audio got defected.
No, we don't want to talk about it
because the Beatles one was a little easier.
Yeah.
Like they're great. Their best songs are their most popular songs.
We might revisit the Beatles one.
But I think we do need to throw in a couple drafts that this past week got me thinking of.
Okay.
So obviously, solo artist draft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I can play the game. I usually draft from my heart, but still, like, it makes more sense than what some commenters will say. I will get to that. But I think we need to throw in an album draft.
Okay.
Not even a specific genre. No banning anybody. You can throw in the Beatles on that one, but limit it to one album per band.
Okay.
I mean, if you draft a Beatles album, I can draft a Beatles album, but we both can't draft two Beatles albums.
Yeah.
Whereas the solo one, I do think there's one artist we gotta ban. It's the only way. We gotta ban Taylor Swift. We gotta.
Okay.
That's the only one, though. That's the only one I can think of. Everybody else is fair game, I think. Yeah. Prince, Michael Jackson, keep them. But they're not as relevant
That's
now.
what we're doing next week. Solo artist draft.
Now, we do need to put that in the hat. I think I could do... I was making a list earlier. I was like, I think I'd do a pretty good job with this. Mm-hmm. There's a couple over there me and you would fight over.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. In the album one, I was like jotting some albums down. I was like, I can play the game on this one. I guess I'll play along.
Nancy, put it in the hat.
I'll play along with what audiences expect. When what audience expect is when the more popular stuff, you beat me. As I said, as we were recording last week's episode, I said, Josh, you will beat me on this episode, and dab-gone it, you did.
Well, Caleb,
you did
your problem was that you took Steely Dan as number one, and people were not a fan of that. Apparently.
I still don't find it to be a problem. I just think it's people don't listen to Steely Dan on my Facebook, and it didn't. TikTok's so weird. It didn't reach. It got 12. It got 12, and you beat me 9-3. But 3 of those votes were people that voted on Facebook. It shows me. So I was like, "Oh, Nancy, why are you voting on me?"
Boo.
Like, Casey King, why are you voting on me? But you beat.
I mean, the Chat from a Hat podcast even voted on it as well.
I tallied the votes, and this is counting TikTok and Facebook. You beat me 25-13.
Well, not too bad.
No,
not too bad.
I got a couple faithfuls in there, and I don't mind losing. I'm not a sore loser. What I don't love is making feel like I'm stupid for votes.
I never said you were stupid.
There were a couple comments. I know one of them's our friend. He was just nagging on about it, and then I had a several comment long chain defending my choice against them.
Yeah, literally on your Facebook, that was the only comment. It was a comment chain.
It was just me and him back and forth. I was like, I'm making good cases, but it doesn't matter. and I'm going to make a case here, and it probably won't matter to you either.
Casey sent me a message, and he was like, "What is Caleb doing? Drafting Steely Dan as number one of all the bands." I was like, "Well, it's his favorite band." I mean, they're
sneakily popular. Like, especially in the 70s, they were crazy popular. They were a radio band, and all their albums are well reviewed, and they've caught a second life here, I think, over the last decade. And I loved them. They were my second favorite band that I drafted. XTC was my favorite band that I drafted, and they were my 15th pick because I knew I could get them at the 15th pick.
Clearly.
But I think Steely Dan, you know which band has the most monthly listeners that was drafted? Green Day. Green Day.
They got a new album.
Green Day, and second was Radiohead. In retrospect, I wish I would have took Radiohead first. I think I'd have an easier time defending that. But I like Steely Dan more. And I love numbers. I love number crunching. I did this before we.
Why aren't you an accountant? You have a business degree and you love crunching numbers. Why don't you?
That's a little different.
Why aren't you
That's slightly different. That's not fun.
Why don't you do taxes?
That's not fun. But I do my own taxes.
Tax
though.
evasion.
I do my own taxes.
Caleb does tax evasion. IRS, if you are listening.
But I love crunching numbers, and I actually did this before we made the draft available for people to vote on.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I know I'm going to lose, so I got to have this on my side.
Now Caleb has to defend his horrible choice.
My choices were great, and I get on. The only thing I could do number crunching wise by looking at what numbers are available for a band is album of the year, where it has all the numbers review wise for every album that every band's put out, as well as what scores,
except for Hembry.
Yeah, except for them, which you didn't draft them, thankfully. Every band we drafted obviously had numbers on there, audience, critic, and audience, and I crunched the numbers for critics and audience scores, and my critic score for my 15 bands was a 75.6, and yours was a 68.4. I crunched the audience numbers.
Okay.
The audience numbers for me was an 80. Your audience number was a 71.5.
Okay.
So it's just, I think people...
Okay, you crunch those numbers. I still won.
As I said after I mentioned these, it's not going to change anything. But it's just, I like to defend some choices sometimes and show people, yeah, you might not listen to 5 of these bands, you've never even heard of 5 of my bands, but they are extremely well received from audiences and critics, and they're some of the most influential bands. I still think that your choice of picking the whole entire Hell Mega Tour was like crazy, but it ultimately won it for you, I think. Like,
well, to be honest with you, I didn't consciously do that. So
I don't know what you were thinking. You know who hurt your scores the most? Those bands.
Probably.
Weezer especially. Weezer's got probably. Like a 62, something like that, because they got bad albums. They got more bad albums. I even looked through them. They have more bad albums than good albums.
Well, but those good albums
are good. But I would never. Oh, that train a coming. But they're good albums as good as they are.
My first draft pick is Johnny Cash. Hello.
The great albums from Weezer isn't enough for me to like justify that they're a top 15 band. That's crazy.
They weren't. They were a top 30 band.
Okay, top 30 band. Okay, but top 15 band of your draft though. But also Crunt's another one on a site that covers more like a popularity contest.
Now, who now?
A site called Ranker.
Okay.
Ranker, where it had the top 200 bands, and your medium score of like what average was a 42.6. So you were out there. That was your average between 1 and 100.
Okay.
So you had 8 bands in the 1 to 100 range.
Okay.
And I had 8 bands in the 1 to 100 range, but mine was a 45.5.
Okay.
Yours was higher. Okay. And you also had Fleetwood Mac, they were ranked 12th. Fleetwood Mac, out of all of our bands, was the highest ranked band somehow. Yep. Like, how do we not have any band in the top? I know I was going through the top 10, and most of those were banned.
Yeah.
Were like bands that were banned from us. And I think we made the right choice. In retrospect, I think we could have banned 2 more bands. We should have kept our instincts and banned Metallica and Nirvana.
Yeah, probably.
I think we should have. But I think whenever we do the album draft, we don't need to ban anything.
No.
It's different. It's a different ball game because it's not just looking at the band's complete work. It's one album. So that's that. I stand by. I wish I would have drafted Steely Dan second and Radiohead first. I think I can make a strong case that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time. But
I still don't think it would have helped you.
Oh, I still would have lost. I still would have lost.
Think it would have helped you.
But I stand by my case. And even as we were drafting those bands, I said most of these bands in their respective genre isn't my favorite bands. Like, I could have drafted less known bands, and I like more. Like, I like Lush more than My Bloody Valentine. But I know My Bloody Valentine has more reach, and they did more for the genre. And Pavement isn't my favorite indie rock band, but they did the most for the genre. So it didn't matter. On Facebook, you put My Bloody Valentine and Pavement on there. It ain't going to make a difference. That whole Pixies, Pavement, My Bloody Valentine, and King Crimson territory, I was like, oh, that's what killed me.
On Facebook, you got bludgeoned.
Well, as I expected. Expected fully. TikTok's so weird because whenever we did the TV show draft, we got hundreds of votes. And I was like, maybe. But it still didn't reach, and you still beat me 6-3, which is so terrible. 6-3. Yeah. Come on, guys, vote for TikTok's so unpredictable. But that's all. That's all of that. I don't love doing the drafts, but I think I can play the game. I think I can play the game a little better when it comes to solo artists or albums. I think I can do better with connecting to the common folk out there.
You know what?
Because I don't do a great job at it, admittedly. I'm just not great at it.
Common folk.
Which is why...
Are you calling me common folk?
No, but I think you can you can play the game a little better. I know, and because you don't necessarily listen to Van Halen all that often, and you put them on there. So
I've listened to Van Halen quite a bit.
Do you really though?
Nancy, whenever we make playlists and stuff, when we go on road trips and everything like that, Van Halen is on almost every one of those, are they not?
Yeah. Specifically in the pound case?
Yes. Van Hagar.
I also think we could. Oh, Van Hagar, Josh. Yeah. See, that's what kills me is that
because
I was looking at Van Halen's album of the year overall total was in the 60s because like they got a lot of bad albums. Like they got a lot of albums that aren't respected amongst the community. But you know they got one or two albums that are considered some of the best, like their debut album in 1984. So we almost should have banned them too. No, and I almost did it on the spot whenever you picked them, but I'll let you go.
If that would have been the case, I'd have banned Nirvana.
Do it.
I would have.
They were my least favorite band I drafted.
Well, then why'd you draft them?
Because I think that they're the influence that they had, and I think they're good enough. I think they're good enough. I like them a lot.
Well,
so,
okay.
What's next? What are we talking about here?
Well, we saw Dune 2 last week.
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2. Dune 2. Dune 2 Electric Boogaloo.
As written.
As written.
No,
he's the whatever he said. What does he call him?
He's the Messiah.
No, he called him something else.
Oh, I don't know.
The
chosen one. I don't know.
No, it was the owl.
Jesus,
I don't know.
No, I loved it.
He's the god.
He's a god.
He's a god.
I loved it. But I liked it more upon it just
subsequential viewings.
I only watched it once, but just it's sitting in my brain and doing more research on the Dune novels and what's to come. I was like, man, I really love how this story is unraveling. Oh my god. Oh. Have you ever read into what happens in some of those books?
Nope.
Oh god. Dune Messiah is good. Because apparently Dune 3 is supposed to be adapted from Dune Messiah, which is the second book. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of death and stuff.
A lot of death.
And
a lot of death and
Children
stuff.
Children of Dune. The one after Children of Dune was very bizarre. They take like a person's soul. They like
what?
Yeah, they I don't know who it is, but they end up like connecting a human to one of the sandworms. And that becomes the god, and it's like a half sandworm, half human hybrid. Yeah.
Why?
And these books got really good reviews too. So
why?
I don't know if we'll get to that in this trilogy. I think Denis Villeneuve said he's only doing
the first book,
the first two books. I think so.
Well, folks, spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Dune, a big sandworm gets meshed with a human brain.
Well, nobody's seen that because it hasn't happened in film.
Yeah. And
I think that doesn't give away anything in Dune 2 because God, what has to happen between now and then to get to that? But yeah,
well,
I loved it. I won't go as far as like on the TikTok community saying that it's one of the greatest movies of all time. As I made a list the other day of my favorite second movies, it was like 9th.
Yeah,
I still prefer. I still think The Two Towers is better, and Empire Strikes Back and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah. But it's great though.
That's good.
As a big franchise blockbuster sequel, it's in modern times. It don't get much better.
You know, here's the thing.
It don't get much better.
Here's the thing. Austin Butler is still Elvis in that movie.
I thought he was great.
He's still Elvis.
I disagree, dude. You know who he sounded like? He sounded like Stellan Skarsgård's character, his uncle, the Baron. He was doing an impersonation of that.
So.
Okay. No, not Elvis.
So he's Elvis.
We're just stuck on the Elvis thing because whenever we hear him in interviews, he's still like doing that.
Speaking of the
Skarsgårds.
Yes. The Crow remake. I want to touch on that.
I hate those photos.
I want to touch on that real fast. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I know.
Of probably all time. It would probably be in my top 20 movies ever if we talked about them. I like Bill.
Yeah, me
too. I will give it a chance just because, but I I'm not a fan of the look.
Get
Not
strong,
a fan.
Strong Jared Leto from
Yeah,
from
I'm not
Suicide Squad.
not a fan of the look. It's almost like they're trying to make it edgy to be the sake of edgy, and that's not.
Sucks.
It's not what it's about.
I understand them not wanting to note for note copy what the original character
Well,
looked
my
like.
thing is that why do we have to have a remake of that movie?
You don't have to have a remake.
Why
of
do we
it.
have to
It's
have a remake
perfectly
of it?
fine the way it is.
It's
Yeah.
like the movie was fine.
I'm all for making remakes of movies that need to be remade.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I don't
Like Dune need to be
it needed to be remade. And yeah, definitely. And I know there's been a lot of like a backlash over like why do we need a Twisters? And I'm like I look back at Twister and I'm like Twister is not this cinematic classic that we like that some people like to think of it as. I don't mind if they can improve upon it. I don't know if it's considered a sequel or a remake or
I've
reboot.
never seen the first Twister.
It's stupid
Never seen
fun.
it.
It's stupid. It's got a really cool Philip Seymour Hoffman performance in it, but it's dumb. Like that's not, that's allowed to be remade. Remake stuff that's like wasn't great to begin with. No matter what you want to think about Twister, like it wasn't great, guys. So I do get annoyed when
Strong
stuff like
talk from a guy that drafted Steely Dan as his number 1 band.
how in the hell does that have anything to do with this? Hey, the Dan the Dan is named after a sex toy, as we noticed, as we said last
We
week.
talked about last week.
And Steely Dan had one of
World
the
fell apart outside.
you know who had the highest album of the year overall score? It was one of your groups. Guess.
Rumors.
No, as a band.
Oh, as a band?
Yeah. So no, it wasn't Fleetwood Mac.
You too. Joshua Tree.
It says all their albums scores combined.
Oh.
So U2 was like a 69.
All the, yeah. Well, then
So what band do you think had? They didn't have a lot of albums, but all of them were well reviewed.
The Police.
That was maybe like your second or third highest.
Talking Heads.
Talking Heads had an 85.
Wow.
I think, and you know who was second was Steely Dan with an 82, and Radiohead had an 80.
You know, the thing of it is that I'm not huge on the first 2 Talking Heads records.
That second album has some.
They got some good songs on it, but
Yeah.
they're I prefer Fear of Music on.
That's how I feel about XTC because they draw a lot of comparisons to Talking Heads. Their first 2 albums I skip. I'm like, nah. They become a band they become XTC on their third album.
I feel they can't. They become
But Talking Heads' first 2
on.
albums are actually well reviewed.
Yeah. No, they are. I just
Yeah.
for me, I like. I think Little Creatures and Naked is better than the
Those
first 2
are
records.
mid '80s albums.
Yeah, those are the last 2 records.
I like them.
Not the last 2 records. A record and then another record
Yeah.
and then Naked. But yeah, that's not surprising to me, honestly.
I think
but
who else on your list had, like Metallica wasn't that high. They've had some trash. Who was your second pick?
you two.
Yeah, U2 wasn't too high. And you picked Fleetwood Mac was okay.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac was.
Fleetwood
third,
Mac and the Police were in
was 4.
Fleetwood Mac and the Police were like in the mid to high 70s. The Police's catalog was solid.
Yeah.
All of them got good reviews, as they should. They're all good. That was the one band. That was the only band you stole from me. I was that I had
knew
them.
it was going to happen.
I had them. I was like, I was just wondering how high you were going to draft them. But yeah,
I'll be honest with you. If Metallica would have been banned,
I think they may
honestly
they
may
make a
have
good
went,
case. Yeah,
They may have went number 1. Honestly.
they were. I mean, out
They
of all the
honestly
bands,
may have won
out of all the
number
bands
one.
you drafted, I thought they were the best band.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
anywho, well, Caleb, let's take a breaky poo.
Take a breaky
What were we
poo.
talking about Dune? We forgot about Dune.
Well, we talked about it. I mean,
finished with
I hyped it up. You didn't say much about it. You liked it though.
I did.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited for the next one. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm excited to see how that unfolds.
yeah, it'll be another 5 years before we get that one. So.
Hopefully 3 years. It's been 3 years since the last one. So
It'll be 5 years.
And this
So
was supposed to
they will
come,
have to make
and
sure.
this one was supposed to come out in late 2023. They pushed it back to March.
Well,
March.
they
Yeah.
suck. For that. They suck.
Well, yeah. Let's take a break and then we'll talk about some cereal.
Cereals, woohoo! So Caleb, airline food. What's up with that?
I guess I'll find out in April when I fly it. I'm sure they won't have food though. First time flying in April. Can you believe that? Me.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thunk
Not
it?
me.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not us.
Not us.
Look at us.
Look at us. 55, 54, 55 episodes into this podcast. Who'd have thought it? Not me.
Are we doing like a Paul Rudd impersonation right now? Is that what we're doing?
Clearly.
Okay, just making sure I didn't know if we were on the same.
Speaking of Paul Rudd, we're going to talk about cereals.
Yes.
Because Paul Rudd has been... There's a connection.
There's a connection, folks. You just wait.
Yes. because Paul Rudd was in a Super Nintendo commercial, and back in the 80s, early 90s, they had a Super Mario cereal. And guess what Mario is? A Nintendo property. So Paul Rudd is a 6 degrees of Paul Rudd with Nintendo and cereal. You're welcome. Caleb, start us off. Where are we at?
Okay, we're going to go in alphabetical order today. Something that we haven't done.
Ooh.
It just seemed easier.
Sure, because, I mean, it's going to be blind.
We're in the A's, obviously.
Who? Sit back, folks. We're ready for 40 minutes of cereal talk.
I mean, there's only one in here that I want to talk about. Because I just don't know these other... Look how a lot of these other ones are just ripoffs of this one.
Apple Jacks.
Talk about
Apple Jacks, Apple Smacks, Apple O's, Apple...
No. Apple Zaps, Apple Zings. Apple O's, Apple Cinnamon O's.
Apples to apples.
But yeah, Apple Jacks, Kellogg's, made in 1965 and still around.
Really?
Day.
Wow.
So, I dabble in most cereals that are well known. And I tend to not lean towards the sugary, the ones that are more sugary. But there's something about the Apple Jacks that it just grabs a hold of me.
C.
It just what? What? It's an A for me.
Yep, C for me.
I love it. I love the Apple Jacks.
That's fine. I'm not a real big fan of like artificial apple flavor.
Oh, God, get over
Really
yourself.
not. Really not.
Such a hipster. Picking Metallica first. What a hipster choice. Josh
says the guy that drafts Steely Dan #1. You ain't never gonna live that down. That's worse than Nathan taking Yokozuna in that one.
It's really,
that
Steely
one
Dan
draft.
makes sense. People just don't want to accept it because you know who's like way, way, way better than the Eagles objectively? Steely Dan. Sorry, folks.
Ooh,
sorry, guys.
about her spitting fire.
Well, they just are. I'm sorry. As a whole, if you look at their entire catalog, they're better. They're more talented.
But they
Steely Dan thrives for perfection.
But they don't.
And they reached it on Asia.
They don't have the thing like the Eagles.
They're not
do
taking it easy
with all of the drama and everything that came with it.
Sure. I don't know what drama. Yeah.
The Eagles drama? You don't know about the
what's
Eagles
the Eagles drama?
Good God, dude.
There's
like a 4-hour documentary on Netflix about the drama.
Really?
Yes, dude.
Okay. Shoot, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to not watch
That's
it.
why the Eagles like disbanded for like 30 years.
Okay.
Not 30 years. It wasn't really 30 years. More like 20.
Dan's better than all these bands, though.
Well, keep telling yourself that and you'll lose more drafts. Let's go. What's B?
B, we're, Bootios.
Never had them. Never had Bootios.
So what's Is that from WWE?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah.
So I got the first one here is Boo Berry.
Okay.
What do we think about Boo Berry?
Now I do like
it started in '73 and it's been seasonal since 2010.
I do like some berry flavored cereals.
Do you think would you say it's the best of the monster cereals? We'll get to the rest of them.
It's a toss up. It's a toss up between that one and one that's coming later.
I put Boo Berry in the C tier.
I give it a B plus.
I give it that doesn't exist.
It's a B plus.
I put Boo Berry in. It's not anything special to me, but it's fair. I'll eat it if it's around, but I don't think it's not like groundbreaking or anything.
It's a B. It's a B for me.
Speaking of B, we got one more B here. We got
the Honey Bee.
Well, we got a couple different ones here that are very, very similar. So they're the same basically. We got Bran Flakes / Post Kellogg's Bran Flakes, whatever.
Never had it. That train outside.
Gosh, what was that? You've never had Bran Flakes?
No, never had Bran Flakes.
Bran Flakes it's basically the same thing as like it's the flakes that are in Raisin Bran.
Okay,
which I like a lot, but I put it in B. Sometimes I just lean towards the healthier cereals. I think they taste good, and I feel better about myself after eating it. So I like you've never had, but you've never had it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, now we're going to this next. Gosh, oh my God, this next one has so many different variations because we're in the C tier. I think you know what's coming.
yeah.
Not C tier, but the C. The C.
Corn flakes.
Nope. Cap'n Crunch.
Oh boy. Okay. Here we
Cap'n
go.
Crunch, made by Quaker Oats, 63 to present.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the original Cap'n Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
hurts
Crunch
your-
berries.
Nope.
No,
just
just the-
Cap'n Crunch.
Yeah. Okay.
Cap'n Crunch. It hurts your mouth real
Yep.
bad.
Yep.
But it's still good. I know this is some people's goat of, but not for me. It's a B. It's a B for me. There might be other Captain Crunch that I prefer over.
It's a
this
C
one.
for me.
C for you.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you? Why? Why is that? Oh, why is it that you feel that way about it?
Because if I'm going to rank it against I'm not going to rank it as a cereal. I'm going to rank it against the other Captain Crunches, and to the other Captain Crunches, I would rather have the others than just regular Captain Crunch.
For instance, I'm looking at all these Captain Crunch. There's only one other one that stands out.
It's Crunch Berries.
It's Crunch Berry. Captain
Right.
Crunch Berries. I know they make some of them that are just berries, but
They also make a peanut butter Captain Crunch, I believe, as well.
they do. Where is that? Now I love that. That's better. That's better than Reese's Puffs. You heard it here first, folks. Where is it though?
Probably in the peas,
It's called peanut butter Captain Crunch, right?
I guess.
Okay. So, and there's the Oops All Berries.
Yep.
Do you want to count Oops All Berries or not? Just do Crunch Berries.
Just Crunch Berries.
Now Crunch Berries.
Crunch Berries is where it's at.
Crunch Berries is A for me.
It's an A tier.
Yeah.
Yes, no question. A tier. A tier.
Excellent, because you got the regular Captain Crunch in there, which still definitely like hurts the roof of your mouth. But you've got this other element of the berries. Do they taste drastically different than the Captain Crunch? A little, enough.
Yeah, enough.
Enough, folks. And the last Captain Crunch we want to cover here is the peanut butter Captain Crunch. I'll tell you, that peanut butter Captain Crunch is dangerous. What do you think about it, Josh?
Never had it.
Oh my God! But here you are sitting with
Never had
Reese's Puffs.
Yes,
You know what
Reese's
Reese's Puffs comes from? Peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Peanut butter Captain Crunch came, so
Peanut butter Captain Crunch is so good that
dipped
I,
so they could swim.
that I have to put it in the A tier.
Okay.
Along with the Crunch Berries.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
let's move on to. Let's see if there's any other in C.
Corn flakes.
There are. Here's a controversial one. Cheerios.
Okay.
Recently, reports have been out that cereal has harmful elements in it.
But they are heart healthy.
They are. This is just regular Cheerios.
Regular Cheerios. C.
Really?
Yeah.
I put it in B. I can eat them.
I can eat 'em, but I'm
I
not
I
gonna
do
go
like
to 'em.
if I'm eating regular Cheerios. I do like to put like little like slices of banana in it, maybe, just to give
Give it a little sweetness.
spice it up. It's
Give it a
it's better than putting like artificial sugar and stuff like that in it. Which I used to do as a kid. I used to load the sugar down on that. As I got older, I don't need to. That defeats the purpose of the Cheerio. So
Just buy the Honey Nut Cheerios.
So we got a bunch of different Cheerios here that,
Go ahead. Which ones are popping out to you, Caleb?
well, just recently I had one of these, I think. Where is it? I had some form of blueberry, but it was weird. Because
Blueberry banana.
It was blueberry banana, and it also had like veggies in it, like a sweet potato and stuff. I finished that box, and it was good. I'm not going to rank it, though. It's so new that it's like, it's not even going to be around, probably. But obviously, the one that's even more popular than Cheerios is Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yes.
Also, a lot of people's goat, I think. A very, very incredible cereal to me. But for some reason, I don't put it up there in the S yet. I put it in the A tier. What do you think about Honey Nut Cheerios?
S.
Ooh.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
Your first S.
My first S.
Why is that?
They're just good, dude.
Why, though? What is it about them?
They're delicious. They're delicious.
They're very good.
They're
Honey Nut
just
Honey Nut
fantastic.
Cheerios is one of the few cereals that you finish a bowl. You're like, I'm going to put more in this bowl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, are you talking me into an S tier right now?
And
you are.
And
You
here's
are.
Here's the thing about Honey Nut Cheerios.
I put it in S
though.
tier also.
Here's the thing about Honey Nut Cheerios, though, too, is that you can eat them without milk. You can eat them with milk, and they're just as good with or without.
I can't say that they're healthy, but they still have like that heart healthy.
They're heart healthy. They're heart healthy, damn it.
There's other Cheerios.
They'll give you
here.
cancer, but they're heart healthy, and that's all that matters.
I'm thinking those are the only 2 Cheerios I want to talk about here.
Cancer will kill you, but
There's
your heart
just
will
so many Cheerios that it's just like,
Yeah.
and there's so many of the next one too that I think I'm just going to talk about the main one.
Okay.
That's Chex.
Chex. Ooh.
Love Chex. Well, Chex works really good in like trail mix, Chex Mix and stuff like that.
Chex gets an A for me,
An A.
just because of everything that you can do with it,
Okay.
for trail mix and things like that. So
I put it in B.
I would give it an A.
I do like it though.
Yeah, I do like
it's one of the it's one of those cereals that if I want to have healthier cereal, I'll just get some Chex.
The whole wheat or the whole grain Chex.
Whole grain. I like that.
Good.
Does that
I think it used to anyway.
multi-brand Chex maybe?
Maybe that's what it is.
There's a bunch on here, man. You got sugar Chex.
Sugar Chex.
That was from the 70s. Cinnamon Chex, chocolate Chex.
Chocolate Chex. Say that like 5 times fast.
Jesus.
But yeah, I'd give Chex an A just because of all of
Whoa, this is interesting.
tricks
I'm
that
seeing
you do.
something here.
Okay.
Chips Ahoy cereal.
Yes, they make a Chips Ahoy.
Have you had it?
No.
Neither have I.
No.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's like it would probably like Cookie Crisp is what it would
You
give me
think?
the vibe of. Yeah. Nancy, did you ever have Chips Ahoy cereal?
I've seen it at the grocery store, and it is just like a Cookie Crisp.
It is like a Cookie Crisp. Speaking of Cookie Crisp.
We're not there yet.
Oh damn.
Another crunch has popped up here.
Okay.
Have you ever had this crunch?
I don't know what crunch.
Christmas crunch
No.
from the Cap'n Crunch?
No.
I have vivid memories of the commercials, but I cannot recall what that tastes like.
I have no idea. It's the
Christmas-
first time hearing of it.
The box, it's got like, it's got our guy on it, the Cap'n. He's like all Santa out.
Buddy, I don't-
The Cap'n is dressed like Santa.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
You're sitting here beating a dead horse to something I don't know what
Oh
you're talking
my
about.
god. Oh my god. Okay. What do we have next? We have a heavy hitter here
Okay.
in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I have a hot take about Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm going to put that down on C.
C.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a hot take.
Okay.
It's in B for me,
Okay.
which is also probably low for most people. C, gosh, oh, that's why. I think it tastes fine. It's good.
Tastes fine. It's just I'm not. If I'm going to the grocery store, I'm not clamoring to get Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
That's me.
I'm not either. I mean, yeah. But you know what?
But it tastes fine.
But you know
it's fine.
what variation of the crunch that
The crunch.
of the toast crunch
Yeah.
that I crave
The French
maybe
toast.
about once a year.
French
toast crunch.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of French toast, so
That's the thing. I don't think it tastes much like French toast, but there's something about the taste of that French toast crunch that elevates it to a S tier for me.
really,
I love it.
wow.
I love the stuff. I don't know if that's popular, but I love it. It's just there's something. It's so unique. It's so and maybe about like I said, maybe about once a year I'll get a box. And be like, man, that'll be the greatest week of my life when I eat that.
We know what to get Caleb for Christmas.
If it's
A box of French toast crunch.
Christmas
or
themed,
Christmas crunch.
Christmas themed French toast crunch, it'll just be like a blessing.
Taste you can see. That was their slogan, wasn't it? Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the taste you can see.
Yeah, but not French toast crunch.
I know that.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Let's go to a chocolatey cereal.
No.
How about it?
I don't want to.
Well, we're gonna. So you better get ready. Cocoa Puffs. Let's hear it, Josh. Do you like the milk more than the cereal?
It's a D.
Whoa!
I've never, ever been a fan of Cocoa Puffs, ever.
I'm not a huge fan. It's
Ever.
a C for me.
And here's the reason why. I'm not a huge fan of artificially flavored chocolate. Chocolate cereal.
I think the chocolate cereal they struggle.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
personally.
I'm not a fan. I don't like.
But do you like the what it does to your milk though? What do you think about that?
I'm not a fan of that
Not
either.
really. So-
not really.
That's. I think Honey Nut Cheerio makes a very strong case as the best tasting milk after you get done eating cereal.
Yeah.
That's something that we need to think about in the future when we're naming specific cereals. The chocolate ones, I've never been a big chocolate milk guy, so it's like, ugh.
I love some chocolate milk, but I'm just
don't,
not
yeah.
a fan. I'm just not a fan of the artificial chocolate flavor, which is why my Reese's Puffs
Yeah.
are peanut butter lovers, which means it's just peanut butter.
Yeah.
There's not chocolate,
I
just
feel
peanut
ya.
butter.
I feel you.
So,
This next one was a big one for me as a kid, but as a grown up, it don't hit the same.
Okay.
Cookie Crisp.
I
So
remember Cookie Crisp as a kid. Like, I remember, like, it being, like, a go-to. But in my... I do not think I've had a bowl of Cookie Crisp since I was 7.
it's probably been maybe... It's probably, for me, it's been about 10 years, maybe. And it wasn't as good as most things, as you've talked about before, the one specific Hershey bar. That, what is it? The cookies and cream Hershey
Yes.
bar. A lot of people will tell you that the formula or whatever was better in the 90s, and now it's not as good. I feel similar to Cookie Crisp, but the nostalgia and what it meant to me as a kid is elevating it to that B tier for me. But you can't remember...
I can't...
You can't
I can't
rank
remember.
it. Yeah.
I can't remember that far back to give it a ranking. I wouldn't feel comfortable giving it a ranking.
Next we got Kellogg's Corn Flakes, regular flakes.
Okay.
Not the frosted one, just the...
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes. They're solid. I feared this was going to happen whenever we talked about whenever we said we were going to do this, that I was going to be putting a lot of stuff in B tier, and I am.
Okay.
I am. Cornflakes.
Okay.
Cornflakes. What do you think about the regular cornflakes?
I'd put it in a C.
The hating is just like...
I just feel they're bland.
Okay.
They're just regular cornflakes are just bland. They taste like cardboard to
What
me.
then what about its, I think, superior, though undeniably less healthy counterpart, the frosted?
The Frosted Flakes?
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes is an S tier.
I think I have it in A tier.
No, it's S.
Well, it's A tier
Without
for me,
question.
son.
It's a question.
Oh, God.
Without question, it's S
Without
tier.
question. I know it's some people's fave, so... Frosted
Are you
Flakes.
putting down our S tiers while we're going here, or...
I'm just putting down mine.
Wow, thank you.
You have a laptop over there. Okay,
I don't have a laptop over here. I have the thing that we are recording on.
It don't matter. We don't need track
We don't,
of
we don't.
really.
I'm up
It's-
to 2.
It's just a recording. I'm keeping track of all of them that I put.
I'm talking about S tiers. I have 2 S tiers so far.
I have 2 as well. Yeah, I have
2 S tiers.
Honey Nut Cheerios because you talked me into it, and
Because they're great.
I got the French Toast Supreme.
Sticks.
French Toast Sticks.
French toast sticks.
Moving on, we have Corn Pops, Kellogg's Corn Pops.
Corn Pops.
I
have vivid memories
I'm
of
quite
Corn Pops.
fond of the Corn Pops. This is one of my dad's favorite cereals.
I remember Corn Pops from when I was a kid. I remember Corn Pops today. They get an A tier from me.
Me too.
An A tier.
There's something about them. They're weird.
They are weird.
They're bizarre. They look like little. They're just like
You know,
weird.
the thing
little-
about Corn Pops is, though, is that you got to eat them quick or they get soggy fast.
That's true. Yeah.
They get really soggy really fast.
You can eat those without milk too, but
Oh,
they're
yeah.
a little hard. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like those quite a bit. Let's move on to the next monster cereal, most popular one, Count Chocula. You know how I feel about chocolate stuff. And because of that, I'll put it right there in the C tier with Boo Berry.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just down on the monster ones. Josh is waiting to say what he's got to say. He's making it suspenseful.
No,
What do you think of Count Chocula?
I actually do like Count Chocula. I'd give it a... What did I give?
Cocoa Puffs or Boo
No,
Berry?
Boo Berry.
I don't
I
know.
gave it like a B tier, I believe.
I gave it a C.
I would give Count Chocula a C.
That's where I got it.
Yeah. It's better. It's better than, you know what? I'm changing Cocoa Puffs. It's an F.
God, are you
Kidding.
really?
No.
It's not an F.
It's not an F, but I'm just not a fan of it at all.
Okay.
All right, moving
Have
on.
you ever had Cracker Jack cereal? Oh, wait, no, you haven't because it was only from 83 to 85.
I was gonna say, I wish. That's probably delicious.
What do we got here? I think that's all of C.
Okay.
Let's see. I've never had Crispix.
Nope.
No.
No.
Let's moving on to D, the Despicable Me cereal from 2017 specifically, and the Donkey Kong cereal from 82 to 83. Gosh, there's some wild ones in
See,
here.
Paul Rudd.
Dora the Explorer cereal. Apparently that still exists, I guess.
Why?
Hey,
Oh, well.
Okay, so I actually haven't had any of these, any in the D. I'm wondering if you've had this one. I think you have.
Okay.
Did you ever have the Dunkaroo cereal? I remember didn't you all have a box of that? You and Nancy? I thought Nancy, right?
We did get the Dunkaroo cereal.
Did you ever
didn't
eat
we?
it?
We didn't like it, did we?
No, we didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
It was
Can
too
you remember
sweet.
it?
It was too sweet.
What would you think? What do you think you'd give that?
An F.
Really?
Probably. If I didn't like, look, if I don't like it, my thing about cereal is
Gosh,
if I get it and I don't like it, I'm never gonna touch it or buy it again. If I
Okay.
get it and it's okay, I'm not gonna give it an F.
Well, I think that we got it and tried it, and then we never touched it again, and ended up throwing it away.
So we pretty much threw away a whole box of it because we didn't eat it because we didn't like it.
Okay.
Is what you're saying?
I just remember seeing you all
It's an
had
F
the
tier.
box. It was a cool box. It was a cool concept. But I don't think I ever was really that into Dunkaroos to begin with.
I like
though.
me some Dunkaroos. I do like me some Dunkaroos.
Well, I'm getting worked up now.
That's fine. Get worked up. Draft Steely
Let's
Dan
move on to the. I'll draft them all day, every day. I don't care. Hey, 19. That's Aretha Franklin.
That's stop. We're gonna get flagged.
That's all I was gonna sing.
Okay.
That could have been anything. Let's move on to the next.
Our small little podcast is gonna get sued by Steely Dan.
We're
For,
actually in the
being fans.
we're in the F's because there was nothing in E. Eggo cereal. I never had that. Elf on a Shelf cereal. Nah, never had it.
Nope.
So let's move on to the next monster cereal, which is Frankenberry.
I don't know if I've ever had Frankenberry. I don't think I have.
You know what?
Don't think I have.
I have, but I can't in good faith put it in a tier ranking because I don't remember.
Okay.
I get it confused with like Boo Berry.
Yeah.
Like what's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference?
They both have berry in the name. They gotta be the same.
Got to be close.
They gotta be.
Gotta be close.
Okay.
Gotta be.
Here's a heavy hitter.
Okay. Frosted
Ready for
Flakes.
We did Frosted
I
Flakes, Josh. And you gave it an S tier.
S.
The Fruit Loops. The Fruit Loops.
Ooh, forgot about Fruit Loops.
These are heavy hitters for most people.
I
But
give
are
it an
they
A.
are they going to be heavy hitters for me?
I give it an A.
And for me, personally,
It's an S.
I would give it a D. I'm joking.
I think there's-
I would say A for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
Fruit Loops is
Very
another
good.
cereal you can eat dry or eat with milk.
There's
and
something
it's-
about them. There's something
they're
about
just-
those
they're
Fruit
good.
Loops. I don't
They're
eat them
good.
often, just like the French Toast Crunch. Don't eat them often, but when I do, it's an experience. Okay, it's actually a religious experience.
Religious. Takes you to church.
It take me to church like a dog, and you are a dog and a dog. That's that Hosier song. That's how the song goes in my head. The words that I just came up with. This next one's a heavy hitter for me. I can't eat them too often though, because they just affect my stomach so negatively.
Okay.
But I love them, Josh. And I think you know I love them. These are the Frosted Mini Wheats.
Oh.
Love them. So if I'm going strictly by taste and not what it does to my body, it's S tier. It's S tier for me. I love this stuff.
Well, guess what? You and I have two S tier cereals
You
now
like it-
because the Frosted Mini Wheats is an S tier for me.
Okay. Love them.
Love them.
Love
So-
them. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I like eating them even without the frosting on it. I like to go into old man mode sometimes. But
Buddy.
get off my lawn
buddy.
with my wheats. No, I love frosted mini
Frosted Mini
wheats.
Wheats are so good.
Frosted Mini Wheats,
Nancy
not-
doesn't like Frosted Mini Wheats.
Oh,
I don't
Nancy,
think.
that's
do you like
wrong.
Frosted Mini
That's
Wheats?
the
You
wrong
don't, do you?
opinion. Oh no.
That's the wrong opinion.
Oh no.
My opinion of cereal is different than your all's because I don't drink milk.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Nancy will only consume cereal dry. She does not.
Okay,
She
because
does
I
not
don't
drink milk.
I don't necessarily like milk.
Yeah.
That's why I've moved on. I've actually this week I've went to almond milk and I was doing
Oat milk.
oat milk.
Yeah.
But when it comes to straight up dairy milk, but it's one of the few things I'll allow it in is cereal.
Yeah.
Okay, Nancy, you got that? No, Frosted Mini Wheats are just like so. They're
S tier.
Oh yes, they
are
are.
S.
Don't you all forget about it. And it has unfrosted mini wheats listed on here. I'm not going to rank it because it's just a less point, but I do like it though. What do we got next? A potential heavy hitter, depending on where you land.
Okay.
Yabba Dabba Doo. Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
Buddy, I'm
Nostalgic, a very nostalgic cereal, but does it hold up?
Fruity Pebbles was my favorite cereal as a kid.
It might have been one of my favorites,
So
too.
I cannot, in good conscience, give it a ranking without the nostalgia goggles. So it's an S tier for me.
I put it in A tier?
I can't help it. I cannot help it.
I get it, man. That's another one you do not want to let sit in that milk.
Oh God, no!
God,
God,
obliterated.
no. It's
just
gone.
obliteration.
They're gone.
They're gone, man. They're just done.
It goes from Fruity Pebbles to Fruity Concrete, is what it does.
It's the
like,
worst. It's like,
yes. It's like drywall. It's like drywall paste. You just,
I love Fruity Pebbles, and I like the concept of things being Fruity Pebble taste like a flavored, and it never works. Daggone it, because I got, I'm still going on about that cookie I got at Kings Island last year. It was supposed to be Fruity Pebble flavored, but it was fun. It was funfetti, and it was awful. It was hard. And I was promised, I paid for like $4 for that. I was promised Fruity Pebbles.
You know, we were talking about, when we did the candy tier list, we didn't talk about the Fruity Pebble bar. Remember the Fruity Pebble and the Cocoa
You want to count that as a
Pebble?
candy bar, though? It's more of like isn't it more like a cereal bar, though?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Sure.
It's not. But
Okay, whatever.
now they have the cereal bars, but this is something that you can buy at like the gas station and stuff. It's in the candy aisle. You know what I'm talking about, right, Nancy?
Yeah, it's like a white chocolate.
It's like a white chocolate bar, but with Fruity Pebbles in it.
I've had it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next one, I got to do a little bit of research on to find out if there are two different kinds of cereals that are exactly like this.
Okay, what is the cereal?
Okay. One of them is Golden Crisp.
Golden Crisp and Golden Grams?
No, those are different. Golden Crisp and Sugar Smacks. Are they the same thing?
Maybe.
I'm gonna pull up a picture of the Golden Crisp. I think one of the main things that pops up with the Golden Crisp is Honey Smacks.
Okay.
I don't have much experience with Golden Crisps.
Okay.
In good conscience, I can't rank it, but I assume that it tastes like Honey Smacks, which I do have a lot of experience. That frog. Don't get me started on that frog. Is that a bad?
Are you wanting to rank Honey Smacks?
We can go ahead since it's the same, basically the same thing as Golden.
Honey Smacks. Go ahead.
There's another bizarre one, like with the Corn Pops, and I don't think I like it as much as the Corn Pops. So I'll put it in B tier. It's just very unique. I really like that.
S tier.
Okay. I get that.
It's another nostalgic. It's another nostalgic
That
cereal
frog.
for me.
It's the frog.
No, dude, it's another nostalgic cereal for me that I can vividly remember Saturday mornings watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Okay.
and eating Honey Smacks with the frog.
The frog.
With the frog, man.
Classic Smacks.
Dude.
Now I do love. You know what? I bet if you put a bowl in front of me and ate it right now, I'd probably go up at least a grade.
Probably. Man, these are pretty good.
Oh man, can't wait to eat another one of these 5 years from now.
The nostalgia's just hit.
Here's another one that's heavy on the nostalgia. Most of these are going to be heavy on nostalgia, I think. But I think most of these are really. There's not a lot of cereals that I dislike, actively dislike.
I have learned that unlike the candy bars and unlike fast food restaurants and stuff, I am very forgiving when it comes to cereal.
They're all good, I think, man.
I'm sitting here S tier.
Aside from the chocolate ones, I think they're all kind of good. This next one, I got to put an S tier. This
Okay.
next one.
Okay.
And it is a Golden Boy, and it is Golden Grams.
Okay.
Man. And then you get those Golden Graham breakfast bars.
Oh yeah, they're good.
You got a stew going.
I'm not gonna go to an S, but I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A.
They're good, man.
They're so good.
They're very good.
So good.
I remember the days where Golden Grams would pop up in my house as a kid. Those were great week and a half.
Welcome, new listeners. Hope and pray that you are enjoying getting hungry for cereal.
I remember I went on vacation to Myrtle Beach as a child, maybe about 7 or 8, and we used to. Is there somebody outside? I don't know. You're ruining my Golden Graham story, Josh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
by being distracted. But yeah, we went to Myrtle Beach, and we'd always go. We'd stay in a condo, and we'd go shopping for like food to have in the house. I remember one of my relatives bought a box of Golden Grams. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a great vacation. We got Golden Grams in the house. But yeah, love them. What's next here? Let's see what we got next here. We got. Okay, here's a Caleb exclusive.
That's
I
a
don't-
Caleb exclusive.
I don't know if you've ate it,
Okay.
but I love it.
Okay.
I was on a big health kick in 2021 where I was actively avoiding processed sugar. So
Okay.
this was really the only cereal I could eat. And it's a tough one because it's hard, but I love it. And I love putting it in like Greek yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's grape nuts.
I have no experience in grape nuts.
Okay, so just that year alone where I was eating nothing but grape nuts when it came to cereal, for that alone, I had to put it in A tier.
Okay.
I don't anymore much because I think it does have a negative effect on my teeth, man. They're hard.
Uh-huh.
That's one that you gotta let sit in that milk for
Yeah.
a bit because they're rough. But I think the health benefits and just how
Yeah. Yes, Nancy. We talked about Fruit Loops.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
did you put Fruit Loops in an S tier, Josh? Where'd you put Fruit
I
Loops?
put Fruit Loops in S tier. I put Fruit Loops in S tier.
I put it in A tier.
Caleb put it in A.
I put it in A.
That's okay, because we went from like Fruit Loops straight to Fruity Pebbles. So, because you're in there, you are in there doing your embroidery and paying attention to that.
So you don't.
You can listen to the show later, Nancy. You can get it on all podcast platforms.
All podcast platforms.
All
folks.
podcast. Caleb, where can people find us? By the way,
They'll know if they're listening to us. They know.
they already know.
Moving on, we got a H1 here. Honey bunches of oats. Honey bunches of oats, Josh.
Is it the ones with the almonds in it?
It has regular, but it has almonds on here
The
too.
the almond ones, I like better than the
I
original.
I don't actually. I find them, they get like stuck in my teeth. The almonds do, and I'd rather just eat an almond if I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I think I like the regular ones the most,
Okay.
and I'd put them in a A tier. I love
Okay.
them.
Put
Love
them in a B.
love those honey bunches of oats. B
Uh-huh.
B tier. Okay. Next we got honeycomb. Honeycomb.
Honeycomb. Ooh, man, I was not a huge fan of honeycomb.
I wasn't. You know what? I wasn't either. So I'm putting
Yeah.
it in C.
I'm gonna put it in D along with
Uh-oh.
with cocoa with
Uh-oh.
Cocoa Puffs. Just for the fact that I wasn't a huge fan. I don't remember being that big into them.
Yeah.
And I definitely wouldn't go to the grocery store and buy them today. So that's where I'm at with that one.
King Vitamin. We need to bring King Vitamin back. Remember King Vitamin?
No.
Oh man, it was kind of like Captain Crunch. They stopped making it in 2019, but it was from 70 to
I
2019.
I don't remember that one.
Oh god, it was. I guess there's none in K then. Crave. I've never had the Crave Kellogg cereal
I've never
either.
had Crave
so,
either.
Yeah, we're just. Okay, what about Life? Life is kind of like
Kind of like Chex, right?
Chex.
I
can't
can't in good conscience.
I can't in good conscience because I'm more of a Chex guy. I never
Yeah.
really ate Life.
Yeah.
You know,
You eat life.
I didn't
up
take
every
Life
day.
serious.
You eat life every day.
I eat it every day.
Every day.
God.
On your TikToks. And
What we got next? Okay, we got a potential heavy hitter
okay.
here.
Okay. Okay.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms. I know where I rank it.
Okay. Do you want me to be? Do you want me to go first?
I rank it. I rank it in B. I think it's fine. I got a feeling you're gonna put it in F. Just by your reaction.
And you would be correct.
An F.
It's an F.
I'm not a big marshmallow guy, but I did like
I
that.
do not like marshmallow in cereal. I do not like the way it makes milk taste. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's a texture thing. It's a taste thing. I
Okay.
don't like any of it. It's an F.
I like it.
I can't do it. Cannot do it.
I like it. But I get it.
They are not magically delicious. They are magically cardboard. So
I think they're fine.
I can't do it.
But they're not.
Cannot.
They're definitely not like a favorite of mine.
Can't do it. Can't do it, man. I just can't do it.
Do it.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
Just want to make sure I'm not skipping any here.
I can't.
I'm on the Ilms.
Okay.
Actually, I'm past the Ilms now.
Uh-oh.
There was nothing there.
Uh-oh.
There was nothing there.
You mean the McDonald's cereal's not there?
Oh god, it's
Where everything tastes like French fries?
Has all the monster cereals here, but some of these I don't know, man. Fruit brute. Fruit Brute. Well, it was from 74 to 83. Then a version came out in 2013. Fruity Yummy Mummy. Same thing. A new version came out in 2013. That was it. And,
Fruity Yummy Mummy.
and Carmella Creeper.
Carmella Creeper.
23 to present. 2023 to present. It's new.
Yeah, that's the caramel apple cereal, I think.
I haven't had it. Probably won't have it.
Yeah.
Don't care about it enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the ends. Let's see if there's anything in ends here. Nintendo cereal system.
Told ya!
There it is.
There's the Paul Rudd cereal, baby.
I've never had such a thing.
I
Have you
haven't.
had the Nutter Butter Post cereal?
Nope.
Neither have I. I didn't know that was a thing.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Huh.
But now I want to.
Wow. It's interesting.
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 Very interesting, Mr. Bond.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're in the O's. There's only one real one here that
Oreo.
that stands out as the Oreo O's. I remember when the introduction of Oreos, I was
Yep.
obsessed, Josh. I was 8. Of course I was obsessed. I was a child.
Now,
Now, it's a big fat D tier.
it's a big fat D tier for me too.
No,
Why? Because it's chocolate.
It's not great, man.
It ain't
It's a
great.
mess. That might be the messiest cereal.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It just
Not
makes
a
your
fan.
cereal. It makes your milk just black.
Yep. Makes your teeth black too.
It does. And I loved it as a kid. I think
From
I'm pretty sure I
rot.
was just lying to myself. I was like, this is so good, Mom.
Oh, it tastes just like an
It
Oreo
really,
cookie.
even though it doesn't at all. It really
It
doesn't.
doesn't, dude.
Not at all.
It doesn't.
Pac-Man cereal.
Yes, Pac-Man cereal. From 1987 to 1993.
So, okay, I must have missed one. Okay, here it is. We did Fruity Pebbles, but there's another big popular Pebble, and that is the Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, that's a D tier for me.
It's C for me because
a D tier for me.
It's just so much. It's so much lesser than the Fruity Pebbles. Like it's not anywhere close to that.
not a
These
fan.
chocolate cereals, man.
Or getting
Just give up the
getting
Ghost,
the tar kicked out.
Kellogg's, and these other General Mills. Give it up.
Give it up for the chocolate.
We don't want the chocolate cereal, okay?
Some people do.
No, Nancy, we don't. Here's a funny cereal. We got some funny named cereals here that I've never had. Because it was from the early 90s. Puffins.
Puffins?
Puffins. Puffins.
You too can buy
Puffins.
Puffins. Do you like the taste
It was
of Long
from-
John Silver's fish? Then you can get Puffins cereal.
It was from a company called Barbara's Bakery.
Barbara's Bakery.
Early 90s.
Okay.
Puffins.
Puffins.
We got a lot of puffed cereal. We got puffed rice,
Let's
puffed wheat.
Well, that's like
Yeah,
Rice
I'm sure those are normal.
Yeah.
Just
Puffin.
it's just a funny word.
Puffin stuff.
Q. I don't think I've had any Quaker Oats.
Do we count Quaker Oats as cereal? That's an oatmeal.
And this is technically from 65 to 70, so no, we were not around.
No.
Now we're in R, which has some heavy hitters, if you ask me.
Okay.
Some real heavy hitters.
Oh, it
First,
does.
You got Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran.
Which, funny enough, I just bought a box of Raisin Bran
Okay.
Saturday. I bought a box because I really liked them.
Raisin Bran's a B tier.
Raisin Bran for me is an A tier,
Okay.
actually. I enjoy it. You get some good fiber intake, and it's good.
And it's good.
It's good. You're not going to find me eating raisins very often. The only way you're going to find me eating raisins is if it's in a bran, or if it's in a cinnamon bread.
Yes.
Cinnamon raisin bran.
Yeah.
Bread. You're not going to see me just popping in raisins. Ain't going to happen. There's something different about it.
Yep.
But when you mix it with the right thing,
Yep. Which leads us to
which
Raisin
leads us to
Bran Crunch.
Raisin Bran Crunch, which is
an S tier.
a goat.
It's a goat.
It's a It's a goat. It's a goat, folks.
I was not expecting for you to throw your arm up in the air and go bah.
Raisin Bran Crunch. Between Raisin Bran Crunch, Frosted Mini Wheats, and Honey Nut Cheerios, it's like, whoa, God, what do I pick? Raisin Bran Crunch goes hard.
Yeah. I'm saying it right now. Raisin Bran Crunch may be my all-time
But it
favorite
also
cereal.
may be potentially one of the most sugariest cereals because first off, you got natural sugar in
the raisins.
in the raisins.
Yeah.
You got added sugar on the raisins, but then you also have like the granola and all this other stuff.
But
it's so good.
But it's so good. It's so good. But you're gonna poop it out in 2 hours anyway because of the bran and the fiber. So it's not gonna matter.
You might.
It's not gonna matter.
Okay, let's go into since we have.
Oh, so we both put Raisin Bran Crunch at S, right?
No
Okay.
doubt.
Okay.
It might be my last test here.
Okay.
It's your like eighth.
I like cereal. Okay.
Really? Okay, this next one is more of your forte.
Reese's Puffs, right?
Yeah, Reese's Puffs. I don't know if I've had like Reese's Puffs.
Okay. Normal Reese's Puffs gets a B tier.
Normal.
The regular Reese's Puffs is a B tier because it's chocolatey, but the peanut butter kind of overtakes the chocolate.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Reese's Puffs peanut butter lovers.
Yeah.
I take that back. I
Keep
take that
putting
back.
the S tier.
I take that back. Hold on. Regular is a C tier.
Okay.
That is a B tier.
Okay. I thought you was gonna go way higher.
No.
Why do you got a box of it then?
Because it's good, and that was the first time I ever had it actually. So
Okay.
it's not perfect. It's not perfect. I don't, and it's one of those things. I don't know if I would buy it again. But I all of my S tier cereals I am for sure going to buy again at some point in my life. Even Cheerios, because I mean,
Okay.
cancer be damned. I'm gonna eat my Cheerios.
Okay. And there's a lot of good variations of Cheerios that's always coming out that are very interesting.
That's true.
Some
That's
good like
true.
apple cinnamon ones.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah, the
one
apple
is
cinnamon ones were
is
good.
one
The
that I
ban-
just
the banana was it strawberry banana? Is that what it was? I think
maybe
it's strawberry banana, or maybe it was chocolate banana.
Mine
There was a
mine was blueberry and banana, I believe.
I don't remember. Anyway, go ahead.
Next one is a box that I just finished off about a week ago in my apartment. That's Rice Krispies. I like them. I think they're very respectable.
Okay.
They're not mind blowing, but they get the job done. They pop.
They snap, crackle, and pop.
Man, once you get Rice Krispies in a bowl of with the what was the milk? The oat milk, unsweetened oat milk, which has like a porridge effect.
Uh-huh.
Very interesting. Very interesting way to eat Rice Krispies. What do you think about Rice Krispies?
I'm not a huge fan of them, honestly.
Okay.
I'd put them in C tier.
Now, what about
Now, if you put them in a Rice Krispie treat, I'm gonna put them in an A tier.
Rice Krispie treat cereal?
Never had it.
Really? The big clusters of you've never had that?
No, never had that.
Josh. I say this with everything in me.
You know
would
what's
be
funny?
another S tier for
You know what's funny? You know what's funny is that I'm not a huge fan of marshmallows.
Yeah.
But a Rice Krispie treat, I will tear that up.
I'm gonna-
I will tear a Rice Krispie treat
I'm
up.
actually going to put the Rice Krispie treat cereal right there with Rice Krispie
Okay. So
because
in an A tier?
it's just no. I have them both in B.
Oh, okay.
But I think you would love it. You'd like it a lot more than me
Okay.
because you're just going on about the Rice Krispie treats.
Man, I
over
like
there.
some Rice Krispie
and I'm just
treats.
not. I like them, but like you know. What else do we got here?
Krispie treat.
Okay. I have a cereal here that I had, and it is the worst cereal I ever had. And I'm so glad it popped up on here.
Okay.
It was only made in 2013. Somehow I got a box of this within the year of 2013.
Okay.
The Scooby-Doo, Kellogg's Scooby-Doo cereal
I heard
is
that.
the worst
I've
cereal.
heard about this. I've heard about
All
this.
taste vanishes the second it hits milk.
Okay.
Oh my god. So even though it's a cereal that only lasted for a year, I want to have an F tier, and I'm going to put it there.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo.
Hey, man, you got to do it sometimes.
Scooby-Doo is an F tier.
You got to do it.
Sorry.
You got to do it sometimes.
You know? Don't rut-row me.
No,
It
what?
was rut-row. I was acting like Scooby-Doo, Josh. You get it?
Rut-row.
Did you get it? Did you get it? Shredded wheat. Is that one that we're common with? Oh, shredded wheat's basically just like the frosted mini wheats without. I like me some shredded wheat now.
Okay.
But also one that will make you go to the bathroom due to its fiber intake.
Yeah.
I put shredded wheat at a B tier. I'd still much rather have the frosted mini wheats.
Yeah, I'd put it in a B tier as well.
I like it
probably.
though.
It's
you know,
okay. It's okay.
that was another cereal that I was kind of alternating between that and grape nuts whenever I was on that big health kick a few years ago. What else do we got here in the S?
I don't know, buddy. Why don't you tell me?
A lot of different sponge. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh God. We've reached.
Oh, God.
We've reached the pinnacle. Special K.
Okay.
So we got regular Special K. Regular Special K for me is B tier. It's B tier. Actually, it's A tier.
So, okay. So, Special K. This is the only thing that I can give an opinion on. Special K fruit and yogurt and Special K red berries.
Okay.
They're both A tier for me.
I'm
I would put fruit and yogurt at S. I would put fruit and yogurt at S.
I'm half tempted. You have more experience with the fruit and yogurt
Yes.
than I do. I have had it, but I'm just going to stick with one of these because there's different ones. There's cinnamon. Honestly, all these are good except for the chocolatey delight because screw chocolate in cereal. But the cinnamon, pecan, blueberry, red berries, and the fruit and yogurt, and even the protein plus are all very good. But the red berries, the Special K red berries, is I hate to pop in another S tier, but I'm gonna. Because the Special K red berries, they're special.
They're good.
They got the name right, okay? They are special. I love them. What else do we got here? We got... Man, there's a lot of S's here. A lot. We're on
We
the...
already talked about smacks.
Let's go to T. There might not be much here. Tiny Toons Adventure cereal. They made that in 1990. Some cool cereals here that I just never got a chance to...
Apparently the Batman cereal.
We're on to a big one. Another potential heavy hitter that is not as good as it used to be, unfortunately.
Okay.
But man, back in the day, these tricks not as good anymore because they're not shaped like the. Did they make them anymore that are shaped like the fruits?
I think
they're all like circles.
I think they're all just
circles now, right?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna make. Okay.
Okay.
If we're talking
Okay.
old school tricks for me,
Okay. It's an S tier.
is A tier actually.
Okay.
Old school tricks. New tricks, C.
Okay.
C tier.
Okay. You think it's a visual thing, or do you actually think they taste different?
It's different. It is different. There's something different about it. Texture goes a long way. It goes a long way. And once you have like those different elements as you're biting them in your mouth, there's just so much more to that than just eating round circles. You feel me? You feel me?
Sure,
bro.
I feel you, Mr. Krabs.
What do you think?
I'd put them in a C tier.
The both?
Yeah.
You
I don't remember. Okay, here's the thing. I can't give I'll give it a middle of the road because I can't in good conscience give it anything higher or anything lower based on I haven't had them since the change.
Okay.
So I'll put them in the middle of the road.
So you're not a big not a big tricks fan.
We will revisit if I ever do.
Have you ever had Wheaties?
I don't think so.
Man, have I had wheat? What are Wheaties? They're like the bran, wheat and bran mixture into flakes. They're like flakes.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all had your
They're
Wheaties
kind of
today,
like
Caleb?
they're kind of like the bran flakes a little bit.
Man, I'm surprised.
I'm not gonna tier rank it.
I'm not either.
I'm not gonna tier rank it, and
No,
that's
I'm
actually
not either.
that's actually all of them. So
Is that it?
yeah, that's all of them. That
Is that it?
Is that it?
Is that
My
it?
God.
Is that it?
But that's all that I can
yeah.
in good
That's it.
conscience tier rank. 'Cause I don't feel good about ranking the Wheaties. Haven't had them enough to make an opinion. So that's all the cereals, folks.
That's all the cereal.
What cereals do you love the most out of these? What is there any cereals that we left off that are like top tier for you?
Yes.
Or like bottom tier that we left off? We don't want to hear about any middling stuff
don't
here.
want
We
no-
want to hear the top
we
and the
don't want no
bottom.
mids.
Okay, we don't want no mids. We don't want no drama. We don't want no drama.
Do.
But yeah, that concludes the cereal tier ranking, folks.
And it is your pick for next week, Caleb.
It is.
It is your pick.
And as we all know,
You better pick something good.
drafts are banned for at least 2 months.
I don't think there's anything in there that would constitute a draft. I don't think.
I don't know either. We need to put like a movie draft in there too. If we do a movie draft, would it be based on genre or just movies?
I think it would be more interesting if we did it just movies.
Okay.
Because
okay.
we both do like a wide variety of movies. So I don't know why I just said books.
I don't either.
Because next week's book reviews.
Okay. I know you said you didn't want to have to do research, but you might want to start doing that research like tonight. Because this is one I've been looking forward to since we put it in
What
here.
is it?
It's a music one.
Okay.
2010s albums.
Okay. I can do that.
I've been looking forward to this one.
I think I can do 2010 albums.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Expect a lot of the same artists.
No, we can't do that, remember?
What?
A lot of the same artists. What are you talking about?
Like-
you can only do one artist per...
I know that.
You can only do one artist. You know the rules.
I mean repeating artists from previous
previous
decades.
ones?
From previous decades.
Really?
Maybe.
2010s?
Maybe.
2010s? You're gonna have artists from the 80s? You're gonna have artists from the 80s in your 2010s? Well, we've only done 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Maybe.
So I'm sure there's a Paul McCartney album in there somewhere, but there's only there's only one. You can only pick one, Bub.
Not really.
You don't like new?
That is okay.
Okay.
News okay. Egypt Station's there.
I have been looking forward to it. You know me, I am very big on the 2010s. I know a lot of people are down on modern music, but you gotta look.
There's some good stuff.
Just because mainstream music is not as good as it used to be doesn't mean that music in general is not as
Right.
good, because it is, and I've got some bangers here.
Now you
I think a very diverse list of bangers. So
Now you've got me wondering. What 2010? What 2010?
so this will go from 2010 to 2019. We can only pick. You can't pick multiple albums from an artist. You can only pick.
I know that.
No, I'm letting the people know. I'm letting the people know that in case they haven't listened to past episodes like that, you can only pick one album from an artist. But Josh always finds a way to. Josh always finds a way to some cheats in there somehow. So yeah, that's it. That's gonna be
Not
next.
cheats.
I
Not
know.
necessarily cheats.
So when are we gonna record?
Monday.
Oh yeah, I forgot that I forgot that it's Mondays now. Okay, you're right. I was like, man, when are you gonna be back?
I will be back.
Okay, like the Terminator.
I'll be back.
Well, okay.
We could honestly. I mean, if I could probably. I'll start thinking of them. We might be able to record Sunday before the Oscars if we wanted to.
I don't want to.
Okay then.
I got my eyes set on the prize.
I will go screw myself.
I have to host guests, and I gotta clean up, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I'm joking.
His room has to be immaculate for his guests.
So
Where can people find us?
they can find us by typing in chat for my hat on.
What were you going to say before that? Because I cut you off.
I'll say it after this. They can find us on Facebook by typing in chat for my hat, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you can email us at chatfromhatcast@gmail.com. What I was going to say is that after this episode, those few ideas that we had to put inside the hat, we'll put in there.
Yes.
For these, and obviously, if we pull out a draft next week, we'll put it back. You don't want to
space it out.
Yeah, you got to space these things out, man. Jeez, God. Not because I don't want to lose again. Okay, it's not because of that, folks. You got it. It's partially because of that. Well, we got to space it out. Give me time to grieve.
No grieving. No grieving. Well, Nancy come in here just tearing the place apart. She's like, "You will do a draft episode next week," and throws a bottle across the room. It shatters against the wall. Y'all didn't hear that, but it happened.
Nancy, we're doing 2010's albums next week.
2010 albums next week.
If you want to get in
you
on
want to
that.
join in.
I know that's your decade.
Is that your?
That's your decade.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I like the 2010s. You thought I was going to quote Taylor Swift, didn't you?
No, because I know you don't like Taylor Swift.
Oh my God! You know what? That's just you're prejudging me as a human being right now. It's accurate.
I was going to say I'm post-judging from literally everything you ever said.
Oh God, that's crazy. But yeah, if you want to be involved in that, you can. Just to get more. Did you just Facebook thumbs up me? I hate the thumbs
She
up.
did.
I'm not gonna lie, folks. Josh used to use the Facebook thumbs up back in the day.
I did.
It was I was like, oh, what an asshole.
It was always passive aggressive.
It was always. So whenever my dad does it in a very sincere way, I'm like, what is he doing?
You know what? You know what's bad? You know what's bad? Is my Facebook Messenger is messed up right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it will send. It'll send Nancy the passive aggressive thumbs up. It will send her a random potato.
It also sends me the rocks.
The I love you sign in sign language. I don't press these things, and it randomly sends it.
Really?
I'm logged out of everything. I've uninstalled Messenger and reinstalled it. I'll just randomly send her a potato every once in a while.
I enjoy it.
What's funny is that people, let's say people over 50, especially over 60, whenever they send the thumbs up, it's sincere. And I got to learn that. Because my mom and dad does it, and it's from a sincere place. I'm like, what a... It's like, oh my
what's
God.
funny?
The absolute nerve of
can we
these
talk?
two.
Can we talk just real quickly?
Yeah.
And just touch on it about
Okay.
old people and Facebook and social media in general.
I do not give you permission.
I do not give you permission to use any of my photos. But what cracks me up is the people that will send random businesses Facebook messages that are meant to go to like the owners. You know what I'm talking about.
That's what I was actually just about to bring up. We had somebody that messaged the art gallery page trying to either, I don't know if they were messaging me or like my sister or whoever, and they just messaged the art gallery and was like, hey, did you know that this person died? Tell your dad. And I had no idea who the person even was that they were talking about. I was like, I don't know if this was meant for me or not, but
That's
I was
great.
gonna go with it.
So that is what you deal with on a daily basis. You know, Caleb, I'm not trying to say this to be mean or anything like that, but some people shouldn't have social media. They just should not have social media.
Yeah, well, once you get into a place where like you're getting hacked and getting like duplicated once every 3 weeks, it's like, oh man, you need we need
to learn two-way authenticator.
We need a community education class about social media.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm gonna make that happen.
Make that.
I'm gonna make that happen.
Make that change.
That's it though, folks. 2010's albums next week.
Nancy's writing down our new topics.
Yeah, I'll probably get started on my research for 2010's albums tomorrow.
I probably will look through some stuff tomorrow. I've
I
got
think
some,
I
I've got
always
some
have
general ideas.
I feel like I always have
things.
like a running list of like my favorite 2010 album, but I'll have to find a way to like I can only pick one artist and one from each year. And
I already know every
which Taylor Swift album you gonna pick?
Because you can only pick one.
You can only pick one.
because my
If it's
favorite
Reputation,
did
I
not
swear to
come.
God.
Because your favorite didn't come out in 2010. Or the 2010s.
Get in the car, in the back of the car, and we're gonna get in the car, and it's a street car, and it's glitter everywhere. The car. That's a song, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, folks, we'll talk to you next week about 2010's albums. Did we already? Yeah, we already did the where can people find us?
Yeah,
and
I
all
did that like a while ago.
Well, if you're still listening, go out and buy some cereal. Enjoy your cereal.
Yeah.
Don't buy anything chocolate because it's not going to be
Most
good.
times it's not good.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Nancy. It's
Sorry,
not.
Nancy, it's not.
I bet Nancy's
I was
a...
disinvited from the cereal tier.
Okay, you weren't disinvited. We asked you if you wanted to be on the show this evening, and you were like, "No, I'm going to go in here and embroider."
She said, no, I'm better than this.
Yeah, I'm better than your all stupid podcast.
She said, we are never, ever, ever doing a podcast together.
Like ever.
Like ever.
Like ever.
Well, folks, we will talk to you next week about 2010